So right before our first child was born, my parents had bought property on Lake Murray, South Carolina, and we were living in Charlotte, so this is about 2 hour drive. And they finished building their house before his first birthday, and it was a fun place to go visit. They lived right on the lake. They had a dock. My dad had a fishing boat, and then they eventually got a pontoon boat. And we had many family trips there. We would go every summer. My brother and his kids would come down, my sister, and sometimes her husband and dogs. And we'd get together around the holidays. And we did this for many years. They lived there for 15. But we also took short trips over the years, me and the kids by myself. So in the beginning, it was me, Don, and Harrison, and that's our oldest. And my parents were going, I think they took their Alaska trip. They were going away for like 2 weeks. And we decided to take a vacation to their place, just the three of us. And my parents were good with that. We went for, I don't know if it was like a long weekend or something. And so we thought, oh, this is going to be fun. You know, we're going to go down and we're going to have our own little vacation. And we went down. And what I remember, what pops out in my head is my mom had shut the cable off to save money for the 2 weeks they were gone, something like that. But she had said if we wanted to access the TV, there's something we could do to turn it back on, which was something we could never figure out. So they lived at the beach, and there was, by the dam, they had made the lake. By the dam, they had made a beach. So they had a sandy beach. So we thought, well, let's go over to that. That's something we didn't usually do. We just go into the water from the back of the house. And we drove over there, and we got out, and we had a picnic stuff. And our probably 2.5-year-old son at the time did not like the sand on his feet. And I remember standing on a concrete, like, patio, kind of a picnic area, and him drawing in the sand on the patio. And I'm like, we're at the lake. Why are we doing it on the concrete? And it just wasn't quite what we pictured it would be. I remember we were kind of ornery with each other. I know at that time, Don and I were juggling our schedule. I was working for a while. I worked full time, but reduced hours. And so when I was at home, you were working. And so here we were, the three of us with nowhere else to go and things to do. And I just remember it was kind of a little off.
It wasn't quite the vacation we wanted.
I do remember we belonged to Unity of Charlotte at the time, and there was a Unity Columbia Church. And I remember going there, and I remember going out to eat afterwards. And I don't know what, we're sitting at the table with our probably 2.5-year-old son. And I remember someone coming over and complimenting our parenting. I can't remember exactly what she said. Something to the fact of how I was talking respectfully to him, possibly.
Yeah.
And it just really struck a chord in my head and kind of validated what I thought was very important with parenting is I didn't talk to him like weedle baby voice. I never really, even when he was a newborn and I was taking walks in the neighborhood, whether he was on my chest in the sling or in the stroller, I talked to him in a regular voice. But
about signs too at the time.
Yes. I described what I saw as I walked around, and I'm like, there's a stop sign. It's a red octagon. Little did I know he'd become obsessed with that. But so that's just a little summer vacation memory from way back when, like 26 years ago. Hello, this is Gina.
And this is Don.
With Focused Healthy Family. This is podcast number, I wrote down 23, Don.
No.
That's not right.
It's number 232.
232. I missed the last two. This is podcast number 232. And today we're having summer conversations.
Well, before we get into that, we'll do our tip for today. It's from Caregiver 101, 101 ways to keep caregiving from making you crazy.
That's by Mike Collins.
Mike Collins, yes. And today is tip number 75, and it's about fun. What do you do for fun? Caregiving authorities encourage caregivers to try and continue to do as many of the things they enjoy after entering the caregiving experience. The outcome is that the caregivers feel more authentic and suffer fewer depressive symptoms. Do kids stuff do kids stuff every now and then? If you find yourself in a downhill slide to darkness, do something silly, something new, something out of the ordinary. Anything positive can make you smile and or laugh. It is great.
I have to ask you to back up. Are you still on that page?
Yes.
About halfway through, it sounded like you said, do kids stuff? Oh, do kid stuff. I thought
Do kids,
kid
yeah, I
like
didn't
stuff.
didn't say it quite right, but
I was hearing do kids stuff.
well, either way you want to take
Being
it.
playful and having fun, which is why I'm in my hammock today. My best gift ever. Um, on my front covered porch. And even though it's warm out here, there's always a breeze on the hammock.
Well, then there's some jokes, and these actually are pretty good. These are
You found
summer
some good
beach,
jokes?
summer beach and ocean jokes. So I might go through a couple of them. They're pretty short. What do you call a snowman in the summer? This one you might be able to
A
guess.
sandman.
No, good, but a puddle. Why do oysters share their pearls? Or why don't oysters
To
share
share
their pearls?
because they're shellfish.
There you go. What did the beach say when the tide came in?
What did the beach say when the tide came in?
Long time no see.
Wouldn't that
Ha.
be? Oh, and the tide came back in. I'm analyzing the joke.
Did I say that wrong?
No, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be when the tide went out? Long time no see, but I guess when the tide comes back in, it's been a long time. I'm analyzing the
Oh
joke.
my. Um,
Is there another joke?
how do you cut the ocean in half?
How do you cut the ocean in half? I don't know.
With a seesaw.
Okay, that's fun.
That's it. That's the whole explosion I got from that one. I thought that was pretty good. I'll do one more. What's a
Okay.
shark's favorite sandwich?
What's a shark's favorite sandwich? Tuna fish?
No, that wouldn't be bad, but it doesn't really. Peanut butter and jellyfish.
Ah, I think they would like tuna fish better.
All right.
Uh,
Well, that went right off the bat. That was a summer dive of jokes there. I thought it was really good, but
No, I thought they were good. And I like
just
beach jokes because when you said about the snowman on the beach, I have to tell another story.
okay.
For my 50th birthday, I went away before my birthday by myself for like 2 nights. Um, First time away by myself at the beach. It was awesome. And then the family, we went for like 5 nights. Um, and my favorite thing is to play on the beach, make sandcastles, play in the water, sit in the sand, let the water wash on my feet. And somewhere I got the idea to make a sand snowman kind of thing.
That's it.
And I don't know if people were helping me at first, but at some point it was just me on the beach. You guys went upstairs and were doing your t-shirt decorating that we usually did. We got cheap or thrifted plain t-shirts and had fabric paints and painted on them. We did that most years we went to the beach. But I stayed out there working on my Sandman. I sculpted a big kind of bottom round ball and then put a top one on. And um, I like the Metallica song Enter Sandman, so I wrote Enter Sandman in the sand, with the stick, and I was so proud of my Sandman, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, and nobody else was that impressed by it. But I was I was pumped when I turned 50. I felt good about myself. I dyed my hair purple. Actually had my son's girlfriend bleach my dark hair so that it would take the purple dye, and went to the beach with purple hair and just had a blast.
Well, you need to do that again. Waking up. Maybe do it.
Yes,
Yes.
let's go back right now. No, it's too hot right now. My birthday's in mid-October, so it's perfect South Carolina beach weather.
So what's our topic today? We talked about summer
S-
conversation. I know
Summer
you're going to start with it,
conversations.
so you can
So
begin and we can kind of go from there.
I had some, so this comes from aboutsocialanxiety.com. So
Okay.
kind of fitting when you have difficulty engaging with others, something we talk about often and we've encountered with our children. I printed this and it's a mess. It didn't print properly. Um, it chopped off this, the margins are off. So let's see if I can figure out what the first word is supposed to be. Don, what's your favorite way to cool down on a hot summer day?
Jumping in the pool?
Now, do you like jumping in the pool? What's your favorite way to cool down? Say,
And then the-
he's not a big fan of the pool, so I'm questioning his answer.
Why am I not a big fan of the pool?
Oh, you like to jump in the pool?
Well, I like to get in the pool and play around, yeah. Why I'm
Okay.
not, but I
I was the
don't.
one,
Well, I'm trying to think of other ways I'd cool down in the summer.
well, it's summer.
Put the
It's very hot in
sprinkler
North
outside,
Carolina. What have you done recently if you get hot to cool down? Like if you
take a
go out
shower.
in the grass.
I don't take it
Woohoo!
outside. I mean, um, that's the only thing I could think of cooling down. I don't
Sipping
drink
a
beer
a
anymore.
cold drink. This is a smoothie I made with my collagen powder and frozen cherries, frozen bananas, some flaxseed, ground flaxseed, almond milk, a tiny smidge of my dairy-free creamer. Just give it a little
Chinese,
sweetness.
besides the banana you put in there.
The sweetness.
Yeah, because banana adds sweetness to it too.
It does. Um,
So that's how you cool down in the summer? Is that what you're
I
trying
mean,
to
I
tell us?
love when the kids were little, I love going to the pool. If it's going to be hot, I'm going to be by the water. I can dip in the water. I like to swim and splash around. That was my favorite thing to do. I was always sad the years we didn't have a pool membership. When we were at my parents' at the lake, I mean, the water was right there. Excuse me. There's a hair on my mouth. Um, I love being near the water, to cool off and a cold drink. All right, Don, do you prefer beach days or pool days?
I prefer pool days because I don't I don't mind going out in the waters in the beach at the beach, but I really don't want to swim that much in it. It's not one of my favorite things to do. I'd rather play around in a pool and swim
He's a good
around.
he's a good man. He goes to the beach even though it's not his favorite place.
I mean, I
Um,
like the beach. I'm not against the beach. I like sitting in the sand. I like reading. I'm not. You make me sound like
I
I
said
don't
you
know.
were a good man, that it's not your
A
favorite
good man.
thing to do.
You're a good
Well,
man.
it's not your favorite thing to do, but like beach or mountains, what would your answer be?
Um,
Your honest answer.
I don't want to go to either. No.
I want to go to either. Okay, so Don, what's your
Well, no,
ideal vacation spot? No, that's
I
a
mean,
whole other question.
what's my
What's your
fake?
ideal vacation spot?
Wow, you're asking a lot of tough questions.
You think about it.
I'll think
Um,
about it because I,
I mean, we live in North Carolina. It's hot in the summer.
yeah,
So in the summer, I'd much rather go to the mountains where it's cooler.
yeah, no, I think I would
Um,
probably prefer the mountains too because
but
I liked some of the places we stayed. I remember.
spring, winter, fall, I'm at the beach.
I thought you were going
Uh,
to say December or winter. I was like, I don't
I
really want to
said
go to the beach in winter.
spring, winter, fall. I went in March one time and I had a really warm day and then I had a really cold day and I forgot to bring a jacket
That's right. You had to
because
buy a coat.
the day I went, it was warm. And so I went to Goodwill and bought some coats. And I actually crocheted myself a scarf while I was there too. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, I like the not Rocky Road, the Moose Track one that we get.
Rocky Road was my favorite as a kid. What was your favorite as a kid?
Well, we always we were very plain when I was a kid. Most of the time we got vanilla, because mom would she'd either she'll have cookies or here my favorite my favorite when I was a kid was my mom would take, and I told you this before, but she'd make a big chocolate cake, a long chocolate cake, and she'd literally slice and take the top off and then put um, ice cream on there and then put it back on top. And
Homemade ice cream
it
sandwiches.
was much better than any ice cream sandwich you could buy. But
Did you have ice cream man come around your neighborhood? That's something I didn't really have growing up.
we, yeah, well, I remember because when we were married and
We
we
were
were
at my
in,
brother's wedding, and there
well,
was a
we were at,
Mr. Frosty truck.
wasn't it? I thought we were in Reading. I thought we were at,
Yeah, that's where
okay.
my
And there was
sister
a,
and former
and I was like,
sister-in-law
we used to
was
have
it Mr. Frosty?
Mr. Mr. Softy, I think it was. I don't think it was Mr. Frosty. No, it was
Okay. I
Mr.
remember you
Softy, I
running out
think.
in the streets
That's
singing,
like, and I
all
don't think I ended
excited.
up buying anything from him at the time,
Okay.
but it was just bringing back because that
Ice
was a
cream
big
trucks in
one.
the neighborhood. Yeah, I don't really have many memories. Like vaguely, maybe somewhere there was an ice cream truck, but I don't remember it as
Well,
a
and
regular
I never
thing.
liked the bomb pop ones. They're mostly iced,
Like, yeah,
like
like red,
uh,
white, and blue
yeah.
popsicle.
I didn't. Mr. Softy was the because he literally had soft ice cream. It was really nice.
Oh, it was soft serve.
Oh yeah, that's why like it was called
Ah,
that's why it's called
the
Mr.
only ice
Softy.
cream truck I remember was, they'd have the prepackaged things.
Hmm.
Like I like the cone with the nuts and the chocolate on it. And I loved ice
Yeah.
cream sandwiches back when I ate gluten. I know when I found gluten-free ones, it was like, oh, this is a treat. In fact, I used to take the kids when they were little, when we had a local, it was called, used to be called the Home Economist, and then it was the Healthy Home Market. It was a
Yeah.
local Charlotte. They had a couple locations when they expanded, and so they had natural food. So this was before Whole Foods and Earth Fare came to Charlotte. So they had this local store, and so we could get dairy free and gluten free, and things that were cleaner as food as far as I felt. And we'd take the kids there, and maybe we were out shopping or going to the library, and we'd stop and we'd get ice cream sandwiches that I remember sitting in the van and kind of messy, feeding like a 2 year old and a 6 year old messy ice cream in the car. But it was a fun little treat. And
Hmm.
I enjoyed it just as much as they did. And I didn't care that it was messy. We didn't tell dad.
Hey, what? We had enough food in that van to feed I think
No,
in
we
this
weren't like some
everyone.
people.
No, we weren't that bad.
Don, what's your ideal temperature for a perfect summer day?
Ooh, probably like in the mid 70s.
That was my thought when I read that question, and that's
Just
not
come.
exactly summer weather in North Carolina. We get that in like April, early
Well, I was
May.
gonna
We have
say,
some
yeah,
like
but
perfect weather, and then
I mean,
doesn't take long, and bam, it's hot.
yeah, it doesn't. Oh my, yeah, you
we
have
we
to
get
get,
some cool downs where it's like low 80s and low humidity, and it's
and it
um
usually even doesn't come down till it's almost dark.
yeah,
I mean, the temperature's been up in the 90s and even into 8 o'clock at night. So you have to get up pretty early in the day to really get beyond
cool
that and do
weather.
things outside and things like that, like get in the garden and things like that.
Don, do you have a favorite summer fruit?
Oh, watermelon.
I remember sitting eating watermelon with our neighbors before we had kids at our Trotters Ridge house. And our neighbor, she would just spit the seeds out. She ate
Was
it.
that Brian and Cindy?
Cindy, yeah, yeah. A fun memory of life before kids. I don't know. Honeydew, I really like. Um, I mean, I love fresh strawberries. I'm strawberry picking with my
Well, yeah,
kids.
that's a good one too. I
Um,
mean, there's a lot of, I mean, I even like kiwi a lot of times in the summertime, but
all right. Let's see. What was your favorite summer activity as a child?
oh wow, we did so many different. I think back about because I think about, our kids don't have that same kind of fun to be able to get out because we did all kinds of stuff. I mean, we played kickball in the middle of the street, and I think probably my favorite is riding my bike. I used to be able to take my dog and go down, ride from my house down to the Mississippi, which is it was probably about 8 or 9 miles away, I guess, something. I'm trying to think.
And walk
Um,
along the riverfront.
yeah, and I would let the dog loose at that point, and he would just roam the. He would stay with. I don't know how I trained him on this, but he'd stay within where I could see him, and if I call him, he'd come back, and because the road was quite a way off, so there was a lot of room for him to play in and run around in. But it was always fun sitting down by the river, listening to it babble as it went along and stuff.
Hmm, I want a river. Um,
So,
I'm always looking for places to go and sit by running water. That's
yeah.
soothing to me. As you were talking about your summer memories, I remember catching fireflies. Um,
Yeah.
I, you know what? And I grew up, I called them lightning bugs. I don't know why the word firefly just came out of my mouth because when I was a kid growing up in Ohio and Pennsylvania, they were lightning bugs. And I've
Well,
lived in the South too long and I just called them fireflies.
is that the real name of them? Because I've always called them lightning bugs too. Is there a
It's just
difference, man?
not as far as I know. I think it's just different regional names like a hoagie or in a subway or a grinder. But yeah, I grew up calling them lightning bugs, but it's funny that firefly popped out of my mouth. It's like you take those tests for, you know, how what word would you choose or how would you say this word and it determines what part of the country, you sound like, where they think you're from. And because I've lived in North Carolina over 30 years, even though I grew up, I was born in New Jersey and it's like mine's such a mix of things now because sometimes I can't even remember what I said growing up. Like I just said firefly, just spit out of my mouth. And I remember arguing with people like, no, they're lightning bugs.
Yeah,
Get a
well,
little jar and punch holes in the lid
yeah,
and
yeah.
catch them. And it was so cool. Um,
Well, you talk about it kind of brings up a story about sitting next to a stream. The only we didn't go on many vacations when we were really young. We would usually go to grandma's, one of the grandmas, especially the one in Jeff City. But one year we wanted to go on a camping trip, and all of us, I think it was even including um, my little sister Linda, I think was
oh,
part of
wow.
that. And we went, it might not have been because I was older. So anyway, we all went to this little park right next to a little stream, and it wasn't a big stream. It was really nice because we could literally walk across it. We'd sit in it, and the water would splash
Did
over
you
us.
tent camp?
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
that's all you. Well, that isn't all you could do. I mean, but we didn't have the money to have. I think Dad. We were part of the scout troop, and so I think if I remember, I think Dad borrowed some tents from them.
Hmm. Do you
But
remember all your brothers being there? Because they're so much older than you.
yeah, they were all we were all there. I don't think Linda was because I was older. She would have been gone by then. But
Hmm.
well, I think it was one of the reasons it may have been too long after she had, because I remember it was kind of the first kind of escape for mom to get out of the house kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But I, I think the older brothers and my dad must have went off fishing somewhere because it was me, Ann, and my mom, and we sat in that water and played in the water. And later on, we got out of the water and we all smelled really bad. And I'm just now, I think about it
Probably
now.
sewage runoff water.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know where that came from, but I just remember it was really tough. We had to do, but we had a blast when we were in it. We just played in it and splashed in it and did all kinds of fun stuff in it. But yeah.
That's funny.
So
Reminds me of
go ahead.
when we lived in Ohio. We lived there in the early 70s when I was young, so we moved when I was 9, but my sister and I would play Barbies together. And we had a well and a septic. So for some reason, there was a big ditch down our front yard as a drainage area, I guess, or like runoff water. And we would put make little boats out of cardboard or whatever to float our Barbies in the ditch. Because I remember when I went back, drove through Canton, Ohio area, and went into my neighborhood, and they obviously have sewer lines and things now because there's no longer a ditch there. But yeah, my sister and I joke about that because it was runoff water basically that we were not really playing in, but we put our Barbies and make boats we made.
All right, so I got a question for you. Since I mentioned this before. Um, I was reading in ARP and they were talking about seniors kill the slang. And I was
Okay.
thinking about when you were young, what was some of the slangs that you went through that maybe aren't around anymore or maybe are around anymore? I don't know if you
Um,
can think of them.
totally
Oh, there you go.
gag me with a spoon.
Yeah. And I think that's gone now.
Oh my God, that's still around, but I don't know how they say it now. Um, um,
I
what's
had to,
popping in my head is when our son was a teenager. So we're going back 10 years. Um, plus, he made movies with his friends 3 years in a row. And one of the movies, one of the characters was the cool kid. And I just remember him saying totes McGroats. And like he had all these, which I guess would be like early, when would this have been? He graduated high school in 2016. So whatever that time period is, the 2010s or whatever. I did just that kind of stuff is popping in my head, which is funny. Um, I mean, what were your sayings? I mean, I grew up watching Happy Days, which is based on the 50s.
yeah, well
Um,
that
but
well mine I wrote down there's like cool daddy, like being a cool daddy kind of thing.
okay,
Even the word cool, but now that one's kind of, I think, kind of has stuck around. It kind of maybe morphed a little bit. Um,
okay,
the idea of gay back then, it meant,
okay,
yeah, you want to do something
happy,
fun, something gay, you know, give me some skin, give me some skin, where you
okay,
bud, um, and they had, can you dig it?
okay.
Those are the ones I can remember. There was a couple other ones I haven't come up with, but
I looked up 80s slang, tubular, bodacious, um, fresh, bad, meaning good. Oh, not, you know,
oh, that, yeah.
yeah. Um, so someone said, he's a total genius. Not.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
psych, meaning just kidding. I'm so sure. Rolling your eyes in disbelief. Take a chill pill.
Oh my.
Veg
Yeah.
out, meaning to chill out. Um, airhead. Calling someone an airhead, someone who was kind of forgetful or spacey. A dipstick. Did you use that?
Um,
Meaning a foolish person.
a
Um,
little bit, yeah. We then when we got into high school, then it was really we used some words we won't say on TV on podcasts here, but we
well, we freak became a thing. Like, and you'd say, what the freak, or and my mom did not like this word, I guess, because it was sort of used to substitute the F word, but she did not like us using that word. And I remember when our kids were little, so again, you know, early 2000s, um, one time one of the kids said to me, you know, she said the S word. And I'm like, what is the S? What did she say? And it was stupid. They Other kids grew up saying you don't say that. That's not a nice word, which makes sense to me, but it's not something that we did in our house because I'm going, thinking of the other four-letter word that begins with S, although we like to keep it clean on here. But the one curse word I would often use when I'd get frustrated and mad was damn it. And I remember at least one, if not two of our kids walking around the house going, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. And it was one of those things, if you made a big deal out of it, they wanted to say it even more. Um, um, and that's not cleaned up. That's literally what used to come out of my mouth. Now that our kids are older, we let other words fly all the time. In fact, I remember when our oldest came over because he's moved out from quite a while, close to 10 years, and seeing his youngest sister, who's 11 years younger than him, just using curse words. And he'd be like, this is not how I was raised. And just, you get more relaxed the more kids you have, and
Yeah,
different
yeah,
things matter more, having kids with anxiety disorders and dealing with serious challenges, Don's health challenges. It's like, you know, to me, it's always like, let's not use curse words against people, but just
yeah.
slang or, yeah, stub your toe. Like, I don't know. We don't tend to worry about it as much anymore. Although, um, I was looking up other slang words, but
What
can't
are the
seem to
questions
find.
you have?
Oh, my other questions. Um, the best road trip snack that you've discovered.
Oh,
I mean, that was something my mom always had food when we went on trips, and probably not to the extent that I would pack food when we'd go on a trip. I always had all kinds of food, snacks galore. Um, um, I don't know the best road trip snack. I mean, we'd make our own trail mixes. I don't
well,
know.
mine goes back. See, we didn't go on that long of trips. Like I said, going to my grandmother's back then would take us about 2.5 hours, I guess, something like that. But my mom or the other would go down to see my brother who was in seminary, which is about the same distance, I guess. And my mom would make up Rice Krispie treat, and we'd have to smell it because she'd put it in the car, but we couldn't eat it and so I just sat
You
there.
couldn't eat it until you got there.
So yeah, no, you
There
couldn't
was
touch
no
any of the
snacking in the
food.
car.
There really wasn't. Not that I remember,
Probably, yeah.
unless if we went to get ice cream, I think we could, if we hadn't finished it when we're
Eat
leaving,
that
we
in the
could take
car.
it. But yeah, it was so yeah, we'd have to go, and we were in a station wagon, so a lot of us were in the back of the station wagon, and it was back there, and we had to smell it. It was like, oh, it was so treacherous, but it was such good stuff.
A lot of you were in the back of the station wagon.
Well,
I mean, you had three
it would be
rows.
mostly me, and then like
I'm a
Anne
lot of
might
us.
Anne might come
I'm
in
teasing
too.
you. You said a lot of us were
Yeah,
in
I
the
know I
back
did. I said that, but um,
because we had a station wagon with three rows, but
we
usually it
didn't we
was
didn't
smaller in the third row.
we didn't have a third row. We would
Oh,
sit back there, like
oh,
lay back, or
you would just no seatbelt, just sit there
no,
in
just
in
oh
the
yeah.
bed.
Well, back when I was little, they didn't even have seat belts in the car.
Yeah.
In the 57 we had, I don't think anyway. And then
Well,
and even in the next car, the 65, we had seat belts, but they didn't use them.
so I grew up. So in the early 70s, I lived in Canton, Ohio, which is kind of a real small town. And my best friend's dad had a truck. And I remember we would go for rides and go places and sit in the back of his truck. And now when I see that, I just think head injury. I just, I worked in traumatic brain injury. I just think about the dangers of that, how unsafe that can be. And we went on a trip to Georgia several years back. And I'm pretty sure it was when we were in Georgia. There was someone like sitting on a lounge chair in the back of like a pickup truck. And we all got just a big kick out of that.
Well,
But yeah, we never thought twice about it being dangerous. And my mom was one when we were in the car, we wore seatbelts. I don't know. We had a 77 Oldsmobile station wagon. I know that car had seatbelts, but I don't know if the cars they owned before that did or not. The Volkswagens or whatever. And I know, we wore our seatbelts in the car. I don't know if my mom never knew we were riding in the back of the truck, but I don't ever
yeah.
remember anybody worrying about it. It was like fun.
Well, I take it one step further. My cousins, especially up in Jeff, not only would not sit in the back, they'd stand in the back of the car as they drove
You
around,
mean truck?
truck, yeah, and and they'd be out in the woods and driving
I was
around
gonna
in,
say
all kinds of
not encountering other cars. They were more off
no, but I
road.
mean, you hit a bump the wrong anyway.
Yeah, we could still
They all still living because of that.
his
So at least
um when you say out in Jeff, just to clarify, that's Jefferson City,
Jefferson City,
Missouri.
that was the capital, but it was my father was from Taos, which is just on the like on the not really suburbs, it's out quite a ways, but it was right there in Jeff
And this
City.
is all west of St. Louis. They
Let me think. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
it
because St.
is.
Louis is on the border,
Yeah.
so it must be.
Yeah,
Um,
west,
because
kind of a little bit southwest, I guess.
your cousins were kind of the rural farm kids, and you grew up in the city
Yeah, I
and had
was
a
the city
very
boy. I
different
was the
life
city
than
boy.
they did.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, favorite summer cocktail, sweet or savory barbecue sauce.
Sweet.
What did you say?
Sweet.
Oh, I heard wheat. Well, down here it's like mustard based or vinegar
Vinegar based. Yeah.
or yeah,
Yeah, they don't
versus
have
like tomato based.
yeah.
Um, I remember when I moved to Charlotte from Pennsylvania and they said, we're gonna have barbecue. And I'm like, barbecued what? I was used to barbecued chicken, not just barbecue as going
Well,
to
here
eat
it's pretty
barbecue.
much pork too. It is the heavier, bit, I think, of all of it. But
But I remember going, barbecued what? And a culture shock when I moved here. That and I have a vivid memory of someone eating like a brownie with a fork, and I'm like, "You're eating it with a fork? Like, can't we just pick it up with our hands?" um, there's all kinds of quest- questions, conversation starter questions.
okay.
Perfect summer playlist vibe. Outdoor concerts that you've really enjoyed going to. I always liked when they would screen a movie outside, just something fun about sitting outside. And we've done that at least once or twice when the kids were little, but we tended to have kids who were like bothered by bugs and things. And so my idea of outside fun was not their idea.
Well, you and I can have fun because they have them at the what they call it the green
Bell Tower Green here.
Bell Tower Green. But
Yeah, I love summer concerts outside. That's something I haven't done in a long time. And that's something you can find, whether it's small town local bands or, um,
well, we went to concert, but one of my favorite things to do was the Balloon Fest. Uh,
that wasn't in the summer though. We're
Um,
talking about summer, Don. It was in September,
well, and I'm talking about
the one in New
when I was a
Mexico.
kid. No, when I was a kid, St. Louis
Okay.
had a big festival
Oh, they
underneath
did.
the
Okay.
arch, and
Oh,
I think it was during the summer, if I
oh,
remember
could have
right.
been. There's one here in Statesville. I guess it still goes on
Yeah, I
in
haven't been
outside of
there in a while.
Charlotte that I think was in September, but okay. I didn't know yet they had that in St. Louis.
Yeah, it was. I really still want to go to the one in New Mexico at some point.
So you never made it to that one.
No.
Okay. I think you had a picture of
Well,
that
yeah, I
one.
still do that.
It's right
I
behind you.
Oh, do I? Can you see it up there?
Hmm. You can kind of tell that there's a balloon. It's a little bit foggy and grayed out, but
Yeah.
there was another question I had. Just thinking of other fun summer activities, like a slip and slide, things that maybe kids don't do anymore. I know we did it with kind of the youngest, going to someone's house and the slip and slide and the water on the plastic and sliding down. We always had a sprinkler, and it was just our garden sprinkler that went back and forth to water the yard. Because then they make more fun sprinklers that do all kinds of things. Um, we
Well, I
had a
don't know if
kid.
you saw, there's one down off of Chantilly all the way. I think it's all the way at the end of it. They had a slip and there's
Oh,
a
did they have it set up?
they have one set up on the side of their driveway.
Um, Another thought with the
Sorry.
sprinklers. That's okay. Running around outside. It's just because I remember in the summertime we played badminton and we had a badminton net and we set it up. And I think there's a picture somewhere of a bunch of neighborhood kids outside playing badminton in the grass, probably without shoes on. Um, yeah, it's just a
I would
vivid
think so. Yeah.
picture ingrained in my head. It feels very 1970s. And um, I was thinking of other summer. Oh, the kids. We had a kiddie pool, and I remember I did a lot of yard sailing. We were living on a limited budget since, we were basically living on one income. And someone was selling one of those plastic, I forget the brand name, but kiddie swimming pools with the slide on it. So it was a little nicer than just a little plastic thing I had growing up. And I remember sitting out there with the kids. Like I remember sitting out there pregnant when Harrison was 3.5. I remember going out there. Abby was, a toddler, even, a year old, and just cooling off in this water. Like, I could sit with my feet stretched out, sitting upright. Like that was the length of it. But I would sit out there. I can picture myself like how silly did I look, and they would go down the slide and it was fun and exciting and like um just simple pleasures which sometimes we forget about. It's like I remember going to birthday parties with the kids, and some people would have these elaborate birthday parties. They'd get the blow up bounce house in the yard, and it's like sometimes those little simple fun things, if you don't have a slip and slide, a big piece of plastic, on a hill with the hose, does the same thing. The sprinkler running around in the sprinkler in the yard. Um, I
Well,
remember
our kids always had a lot of, I mean, we always had the kids really enjoyed everything I think we did. I don't think, you know, I just remember very noisy and running around and doing a lot, they didn't like sit around and, I don't know.
water guns. Remember you and I got super soakers and we had fun with water
Yeah.
guns. And I remember our oldest, we'd play at the park and he didn't like getting hit by the water gun, but he liked to get other people wet. But he did. It's like, if you don't want to get wet, then you can't. But that was like a big favorite thing for people to play with water guns and
We
water
we had them
balloons.
before the kids were around. Remember you and I,
That's what I started with. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we got some super soakers were the big thing. Who knows what is out there now. I remember finding them, I don't know, before we moved, and just the plastic was old and starting to fall apart and things. And I haven't even looked at what water guns look like now, or do they still play with that since, there's so many problems with shootings and the whole idea of guns now.
Yeah.
But water balloons, didn't we give the kids, I have a memory of the two of them fighting, and we gave them water balloons and we sent them outside and said, work this out. Do you have a memory of
I don't
that?
remember that one.
I
No,
have
I
a
don't.
memory. I think that's what it was. And they're like, what? They were thrown off by that because I wasn't quite that free kind of parent yet. I think they wound up having fun with it. I don't know. I could see our middle child having fun with it, the oldest one, a little more fussy about getting wet. Um, but so thinking of some simple summer fun, I think we've shared the story before. The kids were around 2 and 6, and we wanted a vacation, but we didn't have a lot of money to spend. So we did a staycation. And we took off from work, both of us. We made meals up ahead of time, so we didn't have to do a lot of cooking. We used paper plates, so we didn't have to wash a lot of dishes. We decorated the house. I remember we made a macaroni string line that we put up in between the kitchen and the living room, and we labeled the different rooms of the house. And we did some of it at home, and we did some local trips too. But I remember that was, very exciting. When you've got young kids, you don't have to go to Disney World. You don't have to, you can do fun, exciting little things that are simple. Easy on the budget. For us, that was, a thing. But and just the spending time together. Because yeah, you
Yeah.
go somewhere on a trip, and it's, when I remember, I can't remember exactly how this was phrased, but when you go on vacation with little kids, it's not really a vacation for you. It's just
Yeah.
parenting
It's
in an unusual environment that's not, it's almost harder parenting because you don't have all your usual stuff at home. It's in a strange environment and the challenge of that. And I remember when the kids finally got to the age where it's like, okay, they can have fun and we can relax. We're no
Yeah.
longer rocking someone to sleep or
Yeah.
dealing with those kinds of things. Um, just well, we went to the zoo a couple months back, and our kids are 17, 24, 28. And we went and it's like the 17-year-old walked off. I'm like, she's got a phone. She's okay. I don't have to like keep an eye on everybody. It was something we did a
Yeah.
lot when the kids were younger and had to look out for my mom more than
Yeah.
it's just you kind of get that as a parent, you get used to where's everybody, keeping an eye on where everybody
Yeah.
is. Are we all together? And I had to like relax myself a little bit. Like, it's okay. They have a phone. They can reach out to me. Um,
So maybe we open up to ask the audience listening, how do you spend your summer?
we'd love to
What,
hear some summertime stories. If you'd want to call and share it with us, you could send it to us. We could read it for you, or if you'd like to read it yourself and we could put it on the podcast, even if it's not live, but after the fact, love to hear some different summer tips, tricks, and just different adventures with your family, whether it's with kids, whether it's with aging parents, whatever your family dynamic looks like.
well, we really want to thank you for joining us today on the podcast, the Focus Healthy podcast. If today's conversation, helped you, please make sure to pass it along to someone that may be fulfilled by what we talk about. Make sure you subscribe, or and we really want comments. We want to know, like I say, we talked about summer, any kind of summer event you have, or any kind of questions you might have to deal with. Maybe you're dealing with your aging loved one, and you want to ask some questions about that. We can help you with that. You know, and if stress and panic and overwhelm are part of your daily routine, then you really want to look at my EFT discovery session. It's EFT is often called it's weird, but when they stay with it and work with it, they really find out that it works. So check out my discovery series on our on our website, and um, and let us know if we can be help you out in getting to where you need to go with your aging loved one, or just settling down. For wellness tips, resources, and much more, you can visit our website at focusedhealthyfamily.com, and our podcast is focusedhealthyfamilypodcast.com. You can find us on Facebook at Focused Healthy Family, Instagram at Focus Healthy Family One, and YouTube at Focus Healthy Family. New episodes are streaming every Thursday morning. You can find it again at Focus Healthy Family Podcast. And if you want me to come and talk to your organization, whether it's a caregiving group or healthcare teams or community groups, simply check out my website and post me, and I'll be happy to figure out a time to be able to come and talk to your organization. And remember, how you speak to your children and your loved ones today shapes their future and yours.